Hello everyone, welcome to the Management Code 17 series. So this is our class where we are going to do the indifference curve. I am Lakshmi Kushwaha, your educator. So in this session, we are going to understand what do you mean by indifference curve, what are the different forms of indifference curve, and why it is important to understand indifference curve when you are studying management, right? So without any delay, let's start the session. In earlier video, we have studied utility analysis. Now, what do you mean by utility? Utility is a satisfaction derived by consuming certain goods or service. So, the benefit I get after consuming certain good, on basis of that, I make my decision for further purchasing or investing in that good. That is the utility. Now, basis of this utility or the satisfaction, there is a term called as indifference curve. Now, what does indifference curve mean? So there can be goods, there can be product, there can be services for which a customer is or a consumer is indifferent. Indifferent means both the goods, they can be substituted by each other, and both the goods in the different combination gives the same level of satisfaction. Let's understand this. यूटिलिटी का मतलब है कि किसी भी प्रोडक्ट या गुड्स को कंज्यूम करने से मुझे जो सेटिस्फैक्शन या बेनिफिट मिलता है उसे हम यूटिलिटी कहते हैं. इनडिफरेंस कर्व का मतलब है इसी सेटिस्फैक्शन, इसी बेनिफिट को लेकर जब दो प्रोडक्ट्स या दो गुड्स एक कंज्यूमर कंज्यूम करता है, टू व्हाट एक्सटेंट वो प्रोडक्ट्स से उसे कॉम्बिनेशन, डिफरेंट कॉम्बिनेशन से उसे सेम सेटिस्फैक्शन मिलती है. सो लाइक if there is a kid, he like ice cream, he likes chocolates. So in a combination, let's say I am giving him 10 ice cream, 10 chocolates. He is satisfied. He is happy because he is getting 20 things. Now what I am doing, I am making 5 ice creams and 15 chocolate. Still he is happy because he is getting 20 things or 20 goods to eat. Then now I am changing it to 15 ice creams and 5 chocolates. Still the satisfaction remains the same. So when an consumer or a customer is indifferent with the combination of the two goods, getting the same level of satisfaction is nothing but being indifference. And we try to draw this curve. This is indifference curve. So let's understand now one by one who was the one who introduced it and how we can study indifference curve. So the concept of indifference curve analysis holds a pertinent place in economic theory. The technique of indifference curve was initially invented by Edgeworth, one of the famous classical economists. He used this technique only to analyze the possibility of exchange between two persons and did not use for explaining the consumer's demand. So now the only thing is that to what he studied using indifference, that what possibility is there when you are exchanging two persons. Now here two persons, it means for example, if there is an production going on and there are two people working, so if they are exchanged with each other, what kind of production or output they are giving. So he did not study it for the consumer demand, only he did what possibility of exchange can be there. Then later on, J.R. Hicks and R.G.D. Allen, they were the one who propounded the idea of indifference curve approach based on ordinal utility analysis. So now we have cardinal utility analysis and ordinal utility analysis. Cardinal utility analysis कहता है that utility can be measured, can be additive. You can add it, you can measure it in the number, and which can be measured in the units called as utils. Ordinal says that placing the satisfaction achieved or received from the good in an order. So if there are 4, 5, 6, 7 products, with which product I am more satisfied, so that is putting them into the order. So he used the idea of indifference curve which is based on your utility analysis. Ordinal utility analysis means in this curve, these two products, ice creams and chocolates, are, when the satisfaction is being achieved, they would be put into the order, right? In 1939, J.R. Hicks in his book Value and Capital presented indifference theory of consumer demand. So you need to know this author's name. You may have the question, which is the book, who presented indifference theory of the consumer demand, and so on. So if I have to define indifference curve, is a curve that shows a combination of two goods which a consumer consumes and which gives the same level of utility or satisfaction. So if I am consuming 10 ice cream, 10 chocolate, so when I am trying to draw this on the curve, so let's 0, 5, 10, 15, this is ice cream, this is chocolate, so now we have 5, 10, 15. So initially when I draw 10 and 10, it's somewhere here. When I draw 5 and 15, so 5 is here and 15 is here. And then we try to draw 15 and 5 is here. And when I draw a curve for this, this is somewhat like this. So this curve is called as indifference curve. And this curve actually shows that the different combination of the goods gives the same level of satisfaction. So even if you are increasing, now, but the condition is, if one product number is increasing, another should be decreasing, because utility has to remain same. Now how all this work, we'll see in next slide. Now it means consumer is indifferent, यानी उसे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. Indifferent यानी उसे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता, but he is happy. The kid is happy here. Either he is getting ice cream or chocolate, but the happiness is there. The reason is he likes both the things, right? So even if you give him in the different combination, he is indifferent. He likes the things. So indifferent between the various combination of the two goods, as they all give him the same level of satisfaction. Now, indifference curve analysis is based on the few assumptions. There are three important points in this assumption. Completeness. What is this? When you are actually, see, it is based on ordinal. You are ordering, putting the goods in the order based on satisfaction. So assumption is about completeness of the ordering of the preferences. For example, in a combination of A and B of X and Y good, consumer is able to give a rank of this combination. Say A is preferred to B or B is combination preferred to A, or it could be consumer in totally indifferent between the combination A and B. What does this mean? It simply gives you the example that A or B, these are the two people who are consuming X and Y good. So for X and Y, or these are the people where X good can be replaced by Y, Y can be replaced by X. Basis of this replacement, ordering can be done. So it is complete. He can make an order. Basis of his level of satisfaction, वो जो भी उसको satisfaction मिलता है, वो उसको order में लगा सकता है. Transitivity. Preferences are assumed to be transitive. Let there be three combination of the good, X and Y, combination A, B, C. So now X and Y are the goods. These are the three combination A and B and C. So let's say ice cream, chocolate, 10, 10, this is combination A, 5, 15, this is combination B. Then your 15, 10, this is your combination C. So here let's call it as X, let's call it as Y. If a consumer prefers a combination A over the combination B and combination B over the combination C, then according to transitivity assumption, combination A will be preferred over combination C. So that's very simple. If I want, instead of 10, 10, what I'm preferring is give me 5 ice creams and 15 chocolates, I'm happy. And instead of this, if you give me 15 ice cream, 10 chocolates, 5 chocolates, even though I am happy. So I am considering or preferring B option instead of A and C option instead of B. So what does this mean? A is something which I am using. C is instead of B as well. So simple transitivity like we do in maths. satiety. According to this assumption, wants are non-standable, means it which can be satisfied as one want is fulfilled, another one crops out, and more of good is always desirable over lesser amount of the good. More is always better than less. Now what does this mean? So now it means that one, you are consuming certain product, okay? If I am getting ice cream and chocolates, if the number of ice cream keeps on increasing, 5, so let's take it as 20, 10, so let's take it as, so we have to keep it as 25, so 15, right? So now we again take it as 15, 10. So now when the number of one good keep on increasing, a person or a consumer have a tendency to desire something which he is getting more, right? So this is why, because he believes more is always better. So it is completeness. It means you can order it, put it into the order, transitivity and your non-staticity. It is not stable. You keep on moving towards something which is more. So these are the assumptions. Now, this indifference curve is based on one rate or law, you can say. The law is marginal rate of substitution. Now what does this mean? We know substitution. What is substitution, or what are the goods which are considered to be substitute to each other? A and B, ये दो goods हैं. A की जगह B या B की जगह A, when they can be replaced, substituted, एक की जगह दूसरा यूज कर सकते हैं, उसे हम substitution कहते हैं. Now what happens in indifference? So ice cream and chocolate, 10 and 10, 5, so now 10 and 20, 5 and 15. What is happening? There is a substitution. So this is 25. What is happening here? The substitution is happening. 5, ice cream is being substituted by chocolate. Or if we call it as 25 and 10, here chocolates are substituted by ice cream. So they are substitutable product. So there is a law called as marginal rate of substitution, on which indifference curve is based upon, or indifference hypothesis of indifference curve is based upon. Now what do you mean by marginal rate of substitution? So marginal rate of substitution is one major pillar on which hypothesis of indifference curve stand. What is marginal rate of substitution? When I am increasing one number of one product, it is automatically substituting the other product. So MRS, that is marginal rate of substitution, is one of the most basic concept of indifference curve approach. It shows the rate at which a consumer is willing to exchange commodities X and Y along a given indifference. किस लेवल तक मैं एक प्रोडक्ट को दूसरे प्रोडक्ट से सब्स्टिट्यूट कर रही हूं इन द गिवन एक्सिस. मार्जिनल रेट ऑफ सब्स्टिट्यूशन का मतलब होता है कि किस रेट पे. सो आई एम रेडी टू सब्स्टिट्यूट आइसक्रीम विद द चॉकलेट. मुझे 5 आइसक्रीम दे दो और 10 चॉकलेट्स, और इफ यू मेक इट 2 और समथिंग. सो इफ वी टेक दिस कॉम्बिनेशन 10 आइसक्रीम 20 चॉकलेट्स, I am ready to substitute ice cream with the chocolate 5. This is the 5. Here I am ready again 5. So the rate, at what rate I am. So am I ready to make it 0? No. So am I ready to go below 5? May not be. Am I ready to take 8? Yes, 8 can be there, right? I am ready even to take 15 or 10 ice creams and 20 chocolates. Similarly 15, similarly 12, similarly 18. This can be the combination, right? तो किस extent तक, to what extent I am substituting a product is called as marginal substitution rate. So now marginal substitution of X to Y. दो product हैं X और Y. X to Y यानी X Y को कितना replace कर रहा है? Is the maximum amount of Y good which the consumer is ready to sacrifice or pay for additional unit of X good holding the utility constant. Now, when is marginal rate substitution for x is highest? It is when a consumer is ready to replace y good and pay money additional money for x, keeping utility constant. See, it can happen, ice creams can be costlier compared to chocolate, but I'm ready to pay for ice cream because the satisfaction is good. So what, but there is a limit to what extent I am ready to replace. See, there again now here price come into the action or income come into the action कि मैं उसी लेवल पे कहीं पे, so let's say if I am taking the good for 100 rupees के अंदर ही ice cream and chocolate, I will replace them only to the extent when it is into my budget, not more than that. At that point where I am ready to replace one good, एक good को दूसरे good से replace करना चाह रहे हो, yes, if you have to pay or sacrifice the other one, but the utility or satisfaction is to be same. More specifically, marginal rate of substitution x for y, MRXY, is amount of good y which the consumer is willing to give up as he gets one additional unit of good x. So his satisfaction level remains the same. Simple सा है. Marginal rate of substitution x of x for y. ठीक है. तो इस गुड के लिए y, ठीक है, y गुड के लिए in order to get extra x I am ready to replace y. तो जब मैं MRSX लिख रही हूं, यानी ये x का सब्स्टिट्यूशन है, यानी x की डिमांड है, मैं x के लिए y को रिप्लेस कर रही हूं. और MRSY अगर लिख रही हूं, ये y की डिमांड है, यानी y के लिए मैं x को रिप्लेस कर रही हूं. राइट? So according to Lipse, marginal rate of technical substitution may be defined as the rate at which one factor is substituted for another with the output held constant. But in सभी में हमारा output क्या होना चाहिए? Constant. So now how the formula is calculated? What is the formula for calculating marginal rate of substitution? It is minus del K, change. K is capital, divided by L, change in the labor. So this is specifically related to labor. ठीक है? Now marginal rate of substitution in the indifference curve. So now so this is the actual formula how it is calculated. MRS for y is equal to del y by del x. ठीक है? This is your change in y. This is your change in x. So you are replacing y with x. So change in y divided by change in x. This is the formula, right? And you can see when this indifference curve is drawn, this actually is the change in y from here to here, and this is x, right? So this is how it is represented. Please remember the formula. Okay. Now, I will make you understand how the indifference curve work. So, let's understand this is a curve. This is good A and this is good B. Let's make a combination of A and B. Two goods, apple, bananas. 10 apples, 20 bananas. 15 apples, 15 bananas. 20 apples, 10 bananas, and so on. Here satisfaction is 30, satisfaction is 30, satisfaction is 30. Let's have higher satisfaction. A is 20, B is 20. A is your 25, 15, 15, 25. This 40, 40, 40. Satisfaction. Now, I would be drawing this here. This is A good, this is B good, on y-axis and B on x-axis. So now, let's start it from 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Here 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Now, let's draw the first satisfaction A and B, 10 and 20. So, A is supposed to be 10, this is supposed to be 20, it's here, right? It's this. 15, 15, so 15 here, 15 here. Clear? 20, 10, 20 and here it's 10. So now when I draw a curve, it's somewhere like this. This is an indifference curve. And similarly, when I draw this, it will somewhere come upward. Here. Here. Now, this indifference curve, let's say x and y, represent that A and B can be substituted in different combinations with the same level of satisfaction. The properties of this indifference curves are that this curve is convex to origin. It is downward sloping, negative slope. It has negative slope. Indifference curve never intersect each other. These two curves will never intersect each other. They will never intersect each other. They have movement left to right, downward sloping, negative flow. As you move upward, more the upper, so when you are moving this way, left to right, upwards, the satisfaction keeps on increasing. Here my satisfaction is 30, here it is 40, above 50. Now, these are the different properties of indifference curve. Now, why these properties, why indifference curve shows these properties? Let's understand. The first one is the indifference curve always slope downward from left to right. It means this is my indifference curve moving from left to right and it's downward. Why? Why it is called as the negative slope? This is called as a negative slope. Please remember, it is negative slope moving from left to right. So this is because when a product, let's say apple and bananas, when a consumer decide to replace the quantity of A, he asks for more quantity of A, automatically the quantity of B has to decrease. And if he asks for B quantity more, automatically the A has to decrease. The reason is the satisfaction has to same. It has to remain same. He cannot give extra money for it, right? He is ready to replace it, but in the same satisfaction. So because of which the slope is negative. Another characteristics. The curve is convex to the origin. It will never touch the origin. Now what do you mean by concave? This is concave. This area is concave and convex is this. Why? It is strictly convex to the origin because of marginal rate of substitution. What does marginal rate of substitution says? That MRS for x of y says that the rate at which I am ready to substitute y for additional x, keeping utility constant. It means with every consumption of one extra unit, I have to sacrifice the other. And as I keep on sacrificing the other, my interest goes for something which is available in more. So, marginal rate of substitution is always diminishing. It is convex. Reason, due to law of diminishing marginal utility of consumer is always willing to sacrifice lesser unit of commodity for every additional unit of another group. That is what I explained. This is the reason when it is being replaced by other, it is because of that reason it is always convex. It's never intersecting. Higher indifference curve, higher level of satisfaction. What does this mean? As I move upward, this is 30. So if this is 40, this would be 50 or 60. So as you move upward, higher satisfaction. Clear? Because as you are moving upward, you are getting greater bundles of good. Indifference curve never intersect each other. They will never intersect this way. The reason is they do not intersect with each other because they have to give the same level of satisfaction. A and B, this cannot intersect with each other. The reason is when they are intersecting with each other, one has to be 0, which is not correct. One has to be 0, which is not possible because satisfaction has to be same. So when satisfaction has to be same, one cannot be 0, and this is the reason why they do not intersect with each other. So these are the characteristics of indifference curve. 4 important characteristics defined with the reasons. So we have a question. Why is an indifference curve convex to the origin? Indifference curve slope downward to the right. Two commodities are imperfect substitute. Declining marginal rate of substitution between the two commodities, diminishing marginal utilities. So what would be the correct answer for this? Two commodities are imperfect. Correct. Okay. And declining marginal rate of substitution. Yes, correct. It's not declining marginal utilities. Satisfaction is not declining. Marginal rate of substitution between the two commodities is declining. And imperfect substitute. Now what do you mean by perfect and imperfect? Okay. We'll understand this in coming slide. Always remember, in indifference curve, when the goods are imperfect substitute, we get a convex. When they are perfect substitute, we will be getting linear. We will understand in coming slide. Now, different types of the curve. We have already studied that the goods can be substitutable and complementary. Okay. Now there can be perfect substitute, they can be perfect complement, they can be perfect imperfect substitute, imperfect complement. Now let's understand first one. When the goods are perfect substitute, it means I have two goods, X and Y. I am using 10 and 20, so my satisfaction is 30. Here 20, here 30, 10, 15, 15. When these goods are perfect substitute, it means X can be completely replaced by Y. It means all 30 are Y. And all 30 are X. They are completely substitutable. So if I have to draw the first one, so X is 30, somewhere I have to draw here, just an idea. When Y is 30, it would be somewhere here. So if I am drawing only X curve, it will come as, because they are substitute, you will be drawing only one. एक ही बनाओगे. X को substitute करोगे ना Y से, तो हर बार एक ही बनाओगे. So this is 30 का satisfaction, 40 का satisfaction, 50 का satisfaction. It would be a linear. The curve would be linear because एक ही point बनानी पड़ेगी क्योंकि सारे substitute हो रहे हैं. So when the two goods are perfect substitute to each other, indifference curve is straight line on which marginal rate of substitution remains constant, straight line indifference curve of the substitute. Right angled L shape perfect complement. Now what do you mean by perfect complement? Understand, two goods cannot be perfect substitute. They cannot be substituted perfectly with each other. There would be a combination. There would be a combination where they are complementing. There can be a combination where the goods are complementing each other. Complementing each other, it means if I need X and Y, they are two goods, 10X, I would be requiring 10Y. Complemented, 10 के साथ 10 ही चलेगा, 15 के साथ 15 ही चलेगा. So when they have a complement, they have fixed ratio. They are complementing each other, right? So indifference curve will consist of two straight line with a right angle bend which is convex to origin, perfectly complementary goods are used in fixed ratio. If you are preparing the food which requires salt, salty, sugar and sour taste, you have to use all these 3 or 2 goods, salt and sugar, in the perfect combination. Perfectly complement, they should perfectly complement each other. Salt cannot be used in higher quantity or sugar cannot be used in higher quantity. In some dishes they need to complement each other, and for that the curve is your L shape or right angle. So for perfect substitute it's linear, for perfect complement it is L. This is concave. When and concave, we said that indifference curve are always convex. When they would be concave or hamburger curve. Now, X and Y are 2 goods. X and Y are 2 goods. X will keep, जो X good है, it keeps on replacing Y. Higher, more and more units of one commodity is replacing the another commodity, and the marginal rate of substitution, if it is increasing too much, means here utility is not constant. You are, see, X and Y 10, so X 9, so let's say X is your 11, utility has to be 20, so this would be 9, 12, 8, so 13, 7, right? So this is completely keep on replacing. So when this is happening, this Y is completely replaced and only the consumption of X is happening, which is not possible. Why not possible? Because it is declining in different characteristic. जब दो गुड्स एक दूसरे के इनडिफरेंस है, इसका मतलब क्या है कि मेरे को दोनों भी प्रोडक्ट चाहिए, लेकिन मैं इनको रिप्लेस कर सकता हूं लेकिन एक सर्टेन लेवल तक. सो व्हेन यू गेट अ concave curve shows consumer is willing to give up more and more unit of one commodity for additional unit of other. If the marginal rate of substitution is increasing, indifference curve will be concave, which means that the consumer would consume more of X for increased consumption of Y and vice versa, but it is not common. It's not possible because utility is to be, you can say, constant. Now we know indifference curve is negative sloping. It is negative sloping. When a indifference curve would be a positive, it become a positive slope when there are goods X and Y, and a good X is bad product, Y is good. When you are accepting X, so this is like you went to a shop, you like bananas, you like apples. तो दुकानदार ने कहा you are purchasing apples and bananas. So apples are very good in quality and bananas are not in good quality, maybe not fresh. So what you are saying, what you are asking, I want to buy both bananas and apples, please give me the right price for it. So what the shopkeeper is saying, okay, you buy bananas, more of bananas, and I will reduce the price of apples. So he is selling bad product by reducing, but reducing at the same time the price of banana. So what the consumer is doing? Consumer is accepting the bad good. He will accept the more of bad good to get some good product. In this case, it becomes positive sloping. Clear? So these are the 4 different types of the indifference curve or possibility of indifference curve. What do you mean by indifference map? This is one indifference curve, a combination of A and B where satisfaction is 30, or X and Y where satisfaction is 30. When I am drawing another with the higher satisfaction, then again when I am drawing a multiple indifference curve in a single graph, it is called as indifference map. Now, consumer's equilibrium using indifference curve approach. When do in indifference curve a consumer is said to be at equilibrium, balanced stage. That now he is okay, x and y are equal, now I cannot replace it, I am happy. Equilibrium refers to the situation where there is no motion or change. Equilibrium word is taken from Latin language, mean aquus, meaning equal, and libra means balance. It refers to equal balance. In economics, consumer equilibrium refers to a point at which a consumer attains the maximum possible utility from the purchase of goods and service given income and price constant. So x and y, there would be a limit. Okay, fine. Final. 10 goods of x, 15 of y. No, I cannot decrease x, I cannot increase y. This is equilibrium. So this point at a given income or the price constant, I am ready to buy this, purchase this. I am ready to purchase this combination of the good giving me the same satisfaction. Right? So this is called as an equilibrium. Please by heart this definition. After attaining this position, he has no tendency to move, change or a situation. In economics, the two approaches to attain consumer equilibrium, there are two approaches. How I can reach this point? One is cardinal utility, one is ordinal utility, also called as indifference curve approach. We have already studied this analysis, both of them. Maximum satisfaction or level of satisfaction which consumer derive from consuming good is mapped through the indifference curve. So when you are actually drawing this curve is actually showing you the maximum satisfaction. This is what A and B can be replaced. In income constant is explained by budget line or price line. Now this is your PYQ asked in exam. What do you mean by budgetary constant? What do you mean by budget line? Budgetary constant is the limit of consumption of goods and services a consumer can afford or buy with his income. I can buy 10x and y 20. I am not able to buy 20x and 30y. This combination of the good I am not able to purchase because I have budget constant. My budget is income is 10 to buy 10x and 20y. So this is your called as budgetary constant. Budget line. This is also your PYQ. What do you mean by budget line? A line which shows all combination of two goods a consumer can purchase by spending entire of his income given prices of at the given prices of good. So let's say I have 100 rupees. At 100 rupees, how many combinations? X and Y are two product. So I have only 100 rupees. X cost 5 rupees. This cost 10. 5 now different combination. How many combination is possible? And when this is shown on the curve, this is called as budget line. Right? So a budget line also represents a trade-off between two goods, that is the rate at which one good can be exchanged for the another in the market. Important line. This can be asked in exam. So this is the explanation for the graph given here. Consumer equilibrium, that was here with cardinal approach. Now with the ordinal, according to this, if the consumer equilibrium is to be attained, two conditions must be satisfied. So you don't have to go much in detail in this approach of indifference curve. Just remember the two things. First condition, indifference curve should be tangent to the budget line. This is my budget line. The indifference curve has to be tangent. Basically tangent here means when we draw a circle. So this is your tangent to the circle. So when you have a budget line, this is your budget line. Your indifference curve has to be tangent. Right? So this is the combination condition where ordinal approach can bring about the consumer's equilibrium. At a point of tangency, indifference curve must be convex. So this has to be concave, not concave but the convex. Right? So this is the equilibrium with the ordinal approach. We completed indifference curve, the properties of indifference curve and the approaches through which indifference curve could be understood. So this was the session for the day. In next class, we would be starting demand estimation and demand forecasting. Thank you everyone. If you have liked this session, like, share and subscribe to the channel. Share with others so that others also get benefited. Thank you.